Okay, so let's get on to the phone lines this morning. We need to do this, quickly. Asante. We need to speak to Frederick Emisa, who is a technical advisor to the Minister of Finance. He joins us on phone. Good morning, Frederick, and thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Winston, and good morning to your listeners.
Great. So let's look at the SIF payment and the fact that this is the first time that we're paying entirely in cash. First of all, how did we achieve this, and what does it mean for our economy?
Thank you again. What it just means is that there is some form of prudence in our public financial management with regards to this new administration. Like you rightly said, in past, a lot more payments were being done with payments in kind, but this is the first time we are doing 100% payments in cash. What we have seen is that if you look at the T-bill markets, you see that there is some form of increased liquidity, which is saying oversubscription of government securities over the past 2-3 weeks. This is a deliberate government policy to bring sanity and dignity to our financial system, and it's far cry from what was experienced in the past, where I don't want to just go back where our parents and grandparents were picketing at the finance ministry to sort of demand payments for their money. So it's a way of us saying that we believe in Ghana's financial system, we support Ghana's financial system, and we are putting our money where our mouth is.
And talking about putting the money where your mouth is, it's important also that for those of us listening, we understand. In the past, we had made some payments in kind. We're giving, other securities, bonds here and there. Good. But this time around, we've been able to pay in cash, which certainly would mean that over the period, we have done certain things right. What are those things that we did right to enable us to do this?
So right upon taking government, President Mahama shift focus from our fiscal consolidation from revenue-led, being revenue-led meaning that there was a penchant for the introduction of taxes upon taxes. We refocused it to being expenditure-led, which means we were rationalizing expenditure. That is why you see that after the end of 2024, where the IMF program, which had derailed at the end of 2024, which required us to do a primary surplus of 0.5%, we actually did a primary deficit of 3.9%. But after the end of last year, in the middle of last year, we had done a primary surplus of 1.1%. What it means is that we are actually living within our means, and the end year figure will show that we have actually overperformed, and we are saving or spending prudently. So the magic here is the prudent expenditure with regards to the measures which have been put in place, not least the requirements for a commitment authorization, or making sure that whatever an agency is going to procure is actually in the budget. This has brought sanity, and we are not seeing extra budgetary expenditure as has been in the past.
So 10 billion cedis into the Ghanaian economy, what does it mean for the Ghanaian economy? And what does it even mean for these individuals?
One thing, I will take you back again to even the stock market. What this has done is that you heard the government say that we are trying to see interest rate or commercial bank lending rates tending towards single digits. Yes. This is part of the strategy. And your news reported that we even cleared the SNIS arrears also in cash. It is also part of the strategy. We are trying to make sure that the price of money is demand and supply. So when you increase money supply at the right place and using the right tools, we are going to see a fall in the interest rates, all things being equal. So this is what we are seeing, where we see that interest rate, especially our treasury bill rates, are falling from the upwards of about 30% at the end of 2024 to single digits now. We are doing the 91-day T-bill at around 8%. So the effect is that we are going to see a fall in interest rate, the effect is that we are going to see a performance of the stock exchange, because when interest rates fall, people look at alternative means of investing their funds, and it's evident. You can see that even year to date, the stock exchange is performing marvelously, and we are also seeing that lending rates, average bank lending rates, have fallen drastically, over 100 basis points. So these are the effects we are looking at. So Winston, your farm you keep talking about, you can have cheap funds to expand your farm as a result of this deliberate government policy.
Well, you talk about cheap funds. There are also those who fear that 10 billion cedis in cash pumped into the economy could lead to increased demand and, by extension, an increase in inflation. How about that?
Listen, this was calibrated carefully. If you look at the GDP growth we recorded in the Q3 of 2024-5, we are looking at upwards of 6%. So the economy is expanding. So as the economy expands, cash requirements also expand. So it's a way we calibrate it carefully to ensure that we don't, what you're trying to describe is, an overheating of the economy. Mm-hmm. So this was done deliberately to ensure that we have a maximum positive impact on the economy.
All right, Frederick Emisa, thank you very, very much for joining us. And when is the next payment due?
I will have to check, but let me tell you something else that happened. Okay. You know, this DDEP what was done. I think there was something about payments falling due in 2026, 2027, 2028. It's very huge, but I want to assure the investor community that the government has prepared. We are very able, and we have made the needed reserves. We have built the needed buffers to take care of principals which are falling due in 2027 and 2028. So everybody should be rest assured. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Frederick Emisa, who is technical advisor to the finance minister, joining us here